What if I told you compassion can become destructive? That sounds wrong at first. We're taught empathy is always a virtue. More empathy, more feeling, more intervention. We say that's incomplete because here, ungoverned empathy can become vandalism. A woman, Emma Smart, 47-year-old biologist, storms into a restaurant. She grabs a lobster from a tank and liberates it into the harbor. An act of mercy? Maybe. Or maybe a case study in moral theater. Virtue signaling. Because if reports are right, she may have killed the very creature she wanted you to believe she was saving. She is a marine biologist. She must understand sea creatures. She must have paid attention to the temperature in the regulated tank that housed that lobster and its friend, right? That's the point. Good intentions do not immunize bad judgment. Here is the principle. Moral grandstanding is not marine biology. Feeling strongly about something is not the same thing as understanding that something. And modern culture confuses those simple concepts with obscene regularity. Hayek had a term for this, the knowledge problem. People assume, I see a problem, therefore I understand the system enough to fix it. Nope, not so fast. Before removing the fence, ask yourself, why is the fence there? Before rescuing a lobster, understand the purpose of the tank. Stop. Govern those emotions. Think critically. That's not cynicism, that's humility. The notion that one's emotionally driven impulses are sufficient motivation to interfere with the structural reality of the surroundings they didn't construct, they don't own, that's a red flag. And humility is what activism often lacks, because too often the rescuer becomes the hero of their story, and the supposed victim becomes a prop. That's not stewardship, that's performance. Here, we call it unauthorized benevolence, doing good without knowledge, without consent, and often without competence. And it often produces harm while congratulating itself, as those in their social circle praise the signal as something that must be done regardless of the outcome. Look, a policymaker with ideals but no grasps of incentives is dangerous. And an activist with sentiment but no systems thinking, dangerous. Governors, listen carefully. Compassion is not self-authenticating. Just because your motives feel pure doesn't mean your intervention is wise. Reality doesn't grade on intentions. Physics is not a suggestion. Neither is biology. So before you rush in to save something, ask yourself, do I understand the system? Am I helping reality? Or am I performing goodness? And what happens if I'm wrong? That is adult moral reasoning, not vibes, not symbolism, not applause seeking, not virtue signaling. Raw judgment. Judgment generated by critical thinking, proof by hard logic. Because sometimes what looks like rescue is just disruption with a moral soundtrack. And sometimes the ethical act is disciplined restraint. Govern your empathy before it governs you, because ungoverned empathy can become vandalism. It can cause real harm, and moral grandstanding is not marine biology. Govern your shit.